Pair of Chicago Blackhawk legends and Patrick Kane and Jonathan Toews are both inside the top 10. Both are pending UFAs. How likely is it that one or both are moved?
The likelihood of both moving, I'd say, is quite long, if only because, look, we don't usually have players like this on a trade bait board. You're talking about franchise legends, cup winners, likely Hall of Famers eventually, and still with some time to go in their careers. They also have cap hits over $10 million. We've never seen in the salary cap era an 8-figure contract traded at any point, and that complicates things with so little movement around the league. Plus, they both have no movement clauses. And so I think this will be a situation that develops as they have discussions with their agent, their shared agent, Pat Brisson of CAA, and start to work with Chicago management as that deadline gets closer. But I still think this is going to be a last minute, last week, last 2 week kind of situation where we get clarity on which way these guys want to go. And I think simply because of the size of the cap hits they have and the fact that they have so much control of the process, it's going to be difficult for Chicago management to move both out by the deadline.
What about Erik Karlsson having a comeback season for the ages? Lots of talk about how he might be easier to move in the offseason rather than in season. He still has this season and 4 more at a cap hit of $11.5 million per year. What's the likelihood of a Karlsson trade being made by March 3rd?
Well, I can tell you there's definitely teams that have engaged with San Jose throughout this season on Karlsson. I mean, the fact that he's had such a good year, I think, has at least made this a slight possibility. You know, even if he was having just a so-so or average type of season, I think it would be a long shot. But, you know, Erik Karlsson has reasserted himself in the hockey world, and he's on pace for 100 points as a defenseman. This is rarefied air. It's going to be very difficult. The cap gymnastics involved are huge. I think, you know, San Jose will retain some of his contract, but only to a point, because you have to retain for each subsequent season. So it's not just a commitment for this year. It's the 4 beyond it when the Sharks will be to be more competitive and not wanting to tie up too much money in dead cap space. So I'm in the camp that this is an easier move to make. It will never be easy, but, you know, around the draft in the summertime when there's more maneuverability in the system. But I'm going to say never when you have a defenseman in the prime of his career having this kind of season. I won't say he can't be moved. It's just unlikely.
A month away from the NHL trade deadline, our hockey insider, Chris Johnston.